I love the idea of turning existing builds in The Sims 4 into apartments. For example, this build here in Brindleton Bay is so strange for a number of reasons. The first might be obvious, that it has multiple different roof textures and different colored roof trims for no discernible reason. But also it's just kind of interesting because this whole back section is sort of open like an enclosed courtyard. The idea is obviously it is a refurb. So I guess the idea they were going for was maybe it was some old warehouse or something like that. It's being refurbished into a house. But I've always still found it a little odd. Like it's just very, I don't know, look how high the cabinets are. The fridge is here, cabinets are up there. Your sim is about this tall, so how do they get to those? This whole outdoor area is just empty. Upstairs has one bedroom. And yeah, no, I think we could turn this into a multi-unit residential. Like we can fit multiple apartments in here. So first thing I'm gonna do is empty it out. All the furniture is gone. I've left the ceiling lights in just so we can see what's going on. Now the next thing to do is probably to figure out a layout. I'm thinking we get multiple apartments in here. So what I'm thinking is we already have exterior stairs. I didn't add these. These are just, like, this is another reason this build was weird. Like why are there, there's stairs here, and then also stairs on the inside. I think what we do, we remove the interior stairs like that, get rid of that fence. We already have upstairs access right here, so that's actually perfect. It would be cool to then, if I just put a wall between these two, they both have their own courtyard, right? And then from upstairs, if we just, I don't know, we'll have to put a privacy screen so people can't just like look down into their courtyard because that'd be a bit weird. But I like that idea, I do. So this one, you enter here and then we just do another, yeah, you know what? That's really a better idea. Why don't I just do another entrance like right here? Because I think that's actually quite nice. I think that totally works. We'll keep the style. I do really want to keep the style of the build like the same, you know, windows, doors, that kind of stuff. So it's in keeping with the original. I think that looks a little cramped. I think I need to go, whoops. I think I need to go here. Yeah, I want to, you know, keep it in theme with the original, but not necessarily exactly the same. So if we do that, I'm gonna get rid of that. We're gonna get another door just here. Then we can put the floor there like that, okay? Obviously we'll change those windows too. But yeah, that gives us two apartments that both have private balconies. I think this one will need an exit too. This one also, you know what we should probably do? This is such a weird build. This like fence area at the back that was like coming off of the interior courtyard. Very strange. But if we just flip these stairs the other way, hang on, then we just move this fence to here. We could keep two smaller fence courtyards like this. Oh, there's a couple of bins there actually. Well, in that case, we'll put one bin in this one and one in the other one. There you go. So they could both have two small courtyards, because then that way I'm not adjusting the fence too much. It's, you know, very, very similar in keeping to it. And I'll do a door there maybe. Does that fit? Yes. Okay. All right, so they both got bins in there. I think I'm just gonna, you know, brick up that wall there. I think I'm happy with the downstairs layout. They both got a front door from over here. I guess I'm gonna get the same light like that. Okay, so we've got a slightly bigger apartment, smaller, but they both have nice outdoor space. Then upstairs, so we already have a nice balcony here. This one has a balcony there. Is there a way? Well, first, I think I'm gonna remove these interior walls. I think we need to rethink the layout, especially if we're having two apartments up here. We could potentially do it as one apartment, so it's not so small. Maybe that's a better idea. That would also, then we also don't have to cram in another entrance. You know what? Yeah, let's do it as one apartment. I think that makes more sense. Have one larger apartment upstairs. Okay, so that means I still want to have that privacy element so you can't see down. What if I just build my own frame? You know, we just go here. And then I use the growing together metal sheeting, because I think that's kind of cool. And I have it as like a window frame. And then above, I'll also actually get some metal flooring so it kind of matches the vibe of the frame. Oh, you know what? We could even do it as a ceiling tile. There you go. And then we do the same thing up here. So then we've just built our own frame, which actually I need to do some floor trim because we've got those edges visible. So a little, this one. Get that black floor trim on it. Okay, so now we've built a big window frame like that. So yeah, if you're standing here, I guess, look, that does block a lot more of the view. I think that's much better. I'm actually quite happy with that. And then, for example, if you were down here, so a sim is a little bit lower than the height of this door. I mean, if you look up, I guess you could kind of see it, like, but you're looking up. I think that's good. I think I'm happy with that as a level of privacy. I also like that the frame has the ceiling tiles now, which is nice. All right, so I've done the same sort of little window frame and I've used these vertical bars, just the statue ones, so that they create a little bit of a privacy screen. I mean, look, you can still like peer down into the other apartments, but you know, it's Sims, so does it really matter? No, probably not, but you know, it's just a nice architectural element, I think. So I think that sorts out the sort of upper apartment, like, or at least the exterior part just there. One thing I am gonna do is give the whole building the same roof, because I don't know what's going on there. I guess maybe the idea was it was a, you know, renovation, so they just did part of the roof. Question is, do I prefer that roof or this roof? Probably this darker one, I think. And then the roof trim also needs to change. I'm not even sure why these are two separate roof pieces. Like, I don't know why they did that. So I'm just gonna drag the one piece across. Now let's figure out the actual floor plans. What about something like this? I'm thinking this is like the bed area, bathroom. Could even make this a bit smaller if we need to. And then I was like, I just kind of wanted some separation from the bed area to the living space. I was like, maybe we could use that as like a built-in wardrobe. So use one of these get together ones like that. And then we'd have the bed in here. Thankfully, a while ago, they did fix the scooting across a double bed. So we can put a bed in the corner like that and two Sims can still use it. Red's kind of fun. I don't often use the red bed. You know what? Let's just put it in there for now. So yeah, I'm thinking we have like a little bed area, bathroom, which has a lot of windows, by the way. So we'll maybe put some curtains in there. And then we'd have like kitchen along this wall. It would actually be even better if I moved the door over, to be honest. Can I put the door here? Hang on. I just want to do that because then we could actually have the kitchen start from here and come to about there, then have like a TV unit there and a couch here. Ooh, that's good. I like this. I like this. Now this internal wall, I don't think I want it to be brick because I think we're going to have, you know, we've already got brick around the outside. I did add a little extra here where the wardrobe is. I think the internal wall should be like a stucco or something like that, just like this one. I often do this in these kind of builds. Although this one, you know, was using that kind of wall, we could also do that, but maybe a little bit of color wouldn't hurt. What about a red kitchen? Yeah, so what I'm thinking, we go kitchen along here. Let me get rid of that. I'm gonna put a nice fridge there. It doesn't all have to be red, but if we could, you know, if we're going red, we might as well go for it. Dishwasher, oh, there's no red dishwasher? You stop short at the dishwasher? Okay, I see how it is. Anyway, so like that, I'm just, this is the planning phase still. And then TV unit, which I guess, hang on, should just be like one of these, like a whole, you know, so we have a little bit of everything. So we've got, you know, the radio, books, TV, all in one. Or we always have the cool, actually, you know what? This can go in the bedroom. Oh, yes. Get the wallpaper TV there. Not the wallpaper TV, it's like just the art frame TV. So you have a nice picture for the bed, but it's also a TV. Now, we don't have a door to outside, so I should probably do that. I think this one will be the door. Also, this one doesn't have a door either, which we got to do. So I'm just going to put the door there. I'm not sure what the layout of that's going to be, so I'll do that later. But yeah, we'll have a door here, because then that allows us to have the couch and stuff on this side. I like the idea of having like, books behind the couch area, which I know you wouldn't be able to access, really. In the sim. In real life, obviously you would, but is that like too... Oh, wait, hang on. I need a door for the bathroom, too. I forgot about that bit. Okay, so I had a little play around. I think the door to the bathroom is going to go here. I did try it here and here, but it sort of limited what we could actually put around the apartment, because I didn't want the couch shoved in this corner up against the window. I wanted a bit of space there, so it's sort of more here, and then we can easily fit a coffee table in here without it taking up the entire space. And then I sort of scaled down this TV, which I think works. We might have to test that. But then that allows us to have a little desk here as well, which I was toying around over here, but I guess in that case, if it goes here, it's sort of blocking that door. Though it does look better here though, in my opinion. Do we just swap these doors maybe? Maybe that's a better idea. No, but no, I think the door's fine there. It'll still work. And actually then this can go back to what it was. And then we'd have like a little table at the end of the bed there, maybe. Maybe a little set of drawers or something. Yeah, something like that. I'm wondering, I did like a little rug there, but I'm wondering if I should just do a big colorful rug under the bed. Yeah, I like this. I like this layout. Obviously not finished, but that's good. We'll come back to that. All right, moving on to this apartment. This could also just be a one bedder potentially, because I mean, they're not that big. Oh, I guess this is also the cats and dogs world, so I might add stuff for pets. I mean, we've got plenty of outdoor space here too, so I'll have to keep that in mind. Okay, I think something like this would work. So where this apartment's like a studio, so the bedroom is like part of the living space, this is still one bed, but it's got its own bedroom over here and then the bathroom there. Then this will be the living space. And I think we'll do the kitchen in the same place it originally was, which was here. Then we could do a dedicated dining table, and then like a nice sitting area there. And I kind of like the idea of having a little hallway, you know, just here, that has like, you know, the bathroom and the bedroom door separated off from the main living space. I don't know, it just creates a nice little bit of separation. So I think I'm quite happy with that. And then I guess finally, let's figure out the layout up here, which should be, I think if we could do 2 bedrooms here, that'd be good. but I'm not going to guarantee it because it is still quite thin and small. But I feel like if we blocked off that section, that becomes 2 bedrooms like really easily. Just means our living space is pretty small. We also have this big wasted like hall, this 2 wide hall that does nothing, which I don't really like. So in that case, it might be better just to have 2 bedrooms back here where the only one of the bedrooms gets balcony access, you know? I don't know if I'm totally sold on this, but I think I'm just gonna push ahead with this for now. I'm gonna move this light in here just so we have it there. Just so we can continue on furnishing. And I feel like as we get furnishing, we might figure out something that works or, you know, go from there. All right, so let's go ahead and finish off this little apartment. I've done a little bit more to the kitchen. I put mirrors in there. Now, every time I put mirrors behind the kitchen, people always comment like, oh, I can't imagine having mirrors there. They're grease from the stove or, you know, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I've lived in multiple places that have mirrors behind there. And yeah, it is kind of annoying. But it does make particularly studio apartments look a lot bigger. So we're just going to go with it. And also it's Sims. So, I mean, I definitely think there needs to be something on this wall here. We already have, this is technically a bookcase, but I don't really know what else to put here besides more books, to be honest. So I'm just doing a big bookcase right there. And then there is room on the shelf here to put other stuff. So, you know, there you go. Look, I can put a knitting basket in there. Oh, they're a little tall. I can put cross stitching in there. You know, look, you can put stuff there. It's great. All right, let's finish this little living room. Actually, you know one thing I want to do? This concrete we have here, I think this should be our ceiling. I think that'd actually maybe look quite nice. Well, actually, it's actually a little dark. You know what? I might need to do a lighter. Yeah, actually, you know which one would be good? The Desert Luxe one. The big, like, concrete tiles. Oh, yeah, I think this will look cool. Oh, no, that is cool. I like that. I do think I might need to change that wall, though. That gray wall. I don't know if that's too much. I think now we have to go back to doing painted walls with a concrete ceiling, because we also have bricks. So if we have concrete ceiling, brick walls, I guess almost a concrete wall, but it's like a stucco, it's just it's too much. We need some more, we need to soften it. So I think I'm gonna go the painted wall. I know gray is default, but I think I might change that. Red. I'm going hard on the red, maybe not the red. I like the green. You know, we got all sorts of colors in here, and I think it kind of works. It's definitely better. I think we need to just put something on that wall behind the couch. I guess just another picture or something, or maybe a mirror. Could do this, and then I specifically left this up the wall because I figured something would go behind it. Yeah, just something like that, and then we'd just put a few little things on it. That was kind of the idea. I'm not sure if a rug in the living space makes it feel a little too small. Like, I think it might close it in a bit. And actually, speaking of feeling small, I want to rotate the floorboards so they point out lengthways through the build. And actually, I guess the bathroom should be the concrete floor. Because, yeah, if you go lengthways with the flooring, it should make it feel a little bit more expansive out that way. But I think this is kind of nice. It is a little dark, and I'm putting that down to these lights, which I did not pick. These can go out in this courtyard. There you go. Nice plant. Actually, that's got a roof over it. I'll put it over this side. We get some nice rainwater. We can actually fit a lamp over here, which actually might not be a bad idea because it is dark. Maybe this one is almost like a little work light for the desk. It's just the roof is so dark. These lights only point down. All right, so I've just finished off this little apartment. I added in a little pet bowl there, a pet bed just here as well. We have the bathroom all done up. It does have curtains. Hang on, let me go back to daytime because, you know, privacy's sake. I just did some wall lights in here. I use these little growing together ones. I really like these. I added a couple more of them in the bedroom as well because, like I said, it was a little dark. But overall, I think it's pretty good. You know, we've got that nice desk light over there, the lamp. I didn't do too many decorations in the living space because this is a small studio apartment. If you're moving into it, you're probably going to change elements of it pretty quick. So at least you have an idea of where stuff can fit. Then outside, we have a nice dining area with a ceiling light because we do have that balcony above, which actually probably should have this floor trim on it. Yeah, there we go. So we have that black trim there. Yeah, so we do have nice lighting and we have a little barbecue area there. And then, yeah, that's it. I didn't want to do too much. I think that'll actually be just fine. So now we're going to move on to the next one. All right, so I've just planned out the sort of kitchen area in this apartment, which I think is actually quite nice. I think this works well. I did slightly adjust the windows. They originally were like here. So I pulled them down a little bit and I actually added a second one below them because I thought it'd be quite nice to sort of incorporate that into the into the kitchen area. So I quite like that. And then over in this apartment, I did actually add in a sink because I realized I forgot it. So that is there. And you know what? While I'm at it, before I get more comments about it, let's get some bins in here. I know we have the outdoor bins, but indoor bins, always good too, which I think I might add. Maybe I move the pet bowl a little bit. Sorry, pet. It's going to have to go next to the bin. And then this one, I guess, can probably just go here somewhere. You know what? I might just put it here behind the counter. Cool. All right. So that's that. I think I'll do a little dining area over here. just because that's sort of tucked away, uses that space nicely. And then that's our living space. Okay, I think I like that little dining area. And then I've just done a little shoe rack and a mirror over here. Not really sure what to do with this wall, because if I put another table there, then it doesn't really work. So I guess maybe just some sort of picture. I would do another mirror, but we have a few of those. Okay, I just sort of cut off the little entrance and then made that wall smaller, put a couple of pictures on it. I think that works nicely. Cool. All right, so the actual sitting area. Oh, you know what? We need a door to the outside. Let's get a door out there before I forget. There we go. The TV is technically that. I don't know why I'm really into the frame TV in this build, but I think it works nicely. And then I've sort of put the couch more over this side. I guess, oh, you know what? I might do the same thing I did in here where we have like the desk, but I'll put it in this corner. So maybe that's why I wasn't lining it up, because I was not going to put anything there, but I think I will now. So this will be a little bit closer to the kitchen now. And then that leaves this space free for like a little desk or study area. And we have a bit of room behind. I think I'm pretty happy with this living space. You know, we got all that stuff. All the stuff behind the couch is just decorative, really. At the end of the day, that's all it is. But I think it looks nice. It sort of uses that space a bit better. It means we don't have to put a bunch of stuff on the wall. So when the walls are down, you're still going to see the decoration. I got the little office nook there. Some nice big curtains along these windows. That's our little TV. And you know what? I don't know if you can read from this one, because at the moment, I don't think I have any actual accessible bookcases. So I'm just going to add, I'll put these here just below the TV area. So you can actually read, because I didn't have any way you could do that. And then I might get a little stack of magazines or something. I don't know. It feels like there should be something else there. I think I also need to put something here in the kitchen. There, a little plant and some books. I don't know. Just a little bit of decorative stuff there. Okay, that's good to the living room. Let's move into, I guess, the bedroom and the bathroom now. So the bathroom doesn't have any windows. I mean, I guess it's fine. I'm not too concerned about that, to be honest. Oh, you know what I just thought is if you're gonna have a pet here, you'd need a bath, wouldn't you? Which we don't really have room for a bath in this apartment because where the windows and the doors are. There's just huge windows everywhere. Could we do an outdoor bath? Is there one that looks like it could go outside? I mean, actually the horse ranch one kind of does. Do we just have this down here? If you don't watch this video and you download this place, you'll be like, why the heck is there a bathtub outside down here? But you need to be able to wash your pet, you know what I mean? So if you have a pet, you need a bath. Just saying. Anyway, back over to this one. This one I was thinking just use the growing together one. That's always a good time. So a little bathroom there. And then the bedroom has a lot of brick. Pretty much on all the walls except this little section. I might paint the rest of this wall in the blue, yeah. When it comes to this room, we can fit a double bed at the end, like this. I'll move it off the wall a little bit so it doesn't block that curtain. That should work, accessible both sides. I didn't actually intend for it to be a blue bed with the blue walls, but here we are. Maybe orange, there you go, orange and blue, that's always fun. So I kept it pretty simple in there so far. We do already have a pet door here, so I think we'll do some pet related stuff as well. So I think probably this corner, whoops, if we can get a pet bed, we'll just do a small one. If you need a bigger one, look, you're gonna have to sort it out for yourself. I don't know what to do on these walls though. Maybe that just needs a nice picture or something there, or a TV. Do I have too many? I probably have too many TVs in this house, or in these apartments. There's a lot of TVs everywhere. Maybe let's do like the old elevation artwork. That looks kind of cool. You know, this is an old building. Maybe that's, I don't know, related to this. I'm gonna put the Sims 1 plant in. Very nice. Okay, so that's gonna go there. Then I'm gonna need another pet bowl somewhere, which we do have a pretty big space. Might be nice to have it here, just facing that way, so they'll sort of eat this way. Okay, and then that's good. Then yeah, you'll have to place other pet related stuff if you need. So then this outdoor balcony or courtyard is looking nice. It does have a little bit of a ceiling where that window bay is, so we could get a light there in the middle, right? Yeah, so we can put it there. That'll light up the courtyard very nicely. Can we fit a hot tub in our courtyard? Oh, I always forget how dang big these are though. We can fit it. It just has to block the windows in at least one place. But it's pretty epic. Having a huge hot tub. Oh, you know what would be really nice actually? Those are they wall decorations? Yeah, these like green walls. All right, then like a little seating area, which I don't know think you can get to that back chair. Maybe if I move it there, you should be able to walk behind it. You know, you can sit there, enjoy the barbecue. So that's this little apartment as well. Let me just double check the ceiling was all good. Yep. So, yeah, I really like this. I do think there needs to be something right there on the wall. You know what? I think maybe just a little bit of the brick just there. I think that actually helps because then that gives the kitchen area a little bit of a different look. Yeah, it breaks up that wall. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I'm going to put it here because that lines up with that concrete ceiling tile really nicely. And I think it just looks good. Cool. I like that. I'm really happy with this. Now, the final place is the upstairs apartment, which we still haven't settled fully on the actual layout because I don't know about this. Before we go in there, their outdoor bin, I was going to put it here, but it is a wheelie bin and wheeling this down the stairs, probably pretty difficult. So I guess they can have a bin. I mean, I guess I'll maybe just do it under the stairs. Okay, you know what? I think actually the kitchen on this wall right here would be great. A nice big blank wall, very easy. It's probably too big. Sometimes kitchens are just too big, and I think this is one of those times. Unless if I do that, that actually looks pretty good. So let's go like this. And then that actually leaves room for just putting like a kitchen bin up to the side too. Now I would do an island, but our living space is actually pretty small. So I don't think I will. I think this will actually be a relatively small kitchen, I guess, for a 2-bedroom apartment. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. Okay, this is what I'm currently working with. I think this kind of layout works. Yellow and green color scheme. I don't know, I was having fun. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, we have this kind of awkward space where it's like, I need to have a dining area because if it's a 2-bedroom apartment, we should probably have somewhere to be able to dine. So it kind of has to fit in here, but then we need room for the living space. So I ended up with this table behind the couch, sort of off center a little bit, so then we could fit like a little office area here because there's not really anywhere else that could go. And I thought it was fine because we got this big blank wall over here. There's not going to be anything else. So I thought we could do a little desk there. I made the chair black so it sort of disappears a little bit because if I had a lighter colored chair or a bigger chair, it looked really busy. But I think the black works. And then let me just get some plants on this little guy here. There you go. Just a bit of greenery over there. And then, yeah, we could definitely fit some more lamps and stuff in. But I think I was just starting off with the basics. I think it looks pretty good. So I guess I'll just do like the TV area here. Could we potentially fit like a chess table in? I haven't done one of those in a while. That's not true. I do it in a lot of builds, to be honest. I'm using a lot of black in this one. Look, we got color over here, but it just kind of helps all this stuff disappear a little bit. And it's also because, we've got the industrial vibes. Oh, actually, the downside with this is it means I need more chairs if I do a chess table. There's a lot of chair action in here. I think there's too many chairs in this room. It does fit, but maybe we can do something else. If we're doing 2 bedrooms, maybe there's some kids' toys potentially. How about that? I might just do I might do a toy chest and then this toy tub. I don't know if that's gonna block the computer. I might move it over a little bit. I like this though because it looks like there's a lot going on there. Okay, some little toys there. I think I think I'm okay with this layout. It is a little strange, this sort of different sized hallway, but I think it'll work. So I'm gonna grab some doors. So I think I'll do this bedroom door there and then maybe the bathroom door there. And then this one down the end. Now in this hallway, I kind of actually want to do a white wall there, keep the bricks on that side. Or, you know what? I'm going to go yellow. They're kind of color themed apartments. We've got the yellow apartment here, we've got the blue one here, we've got the red apartment there. I think it's kind of working. Oh, actually, I was just about to do the bathroom, but I always forget. Well, in the cats and dogs world, we should have pet stuff. We got a bunch of space here, so why don't we get a bowl over here somewhere? Just by the door, get one there, and a pet bed. We do also have a bunch of room for that, so maybe I might do one here. I'm just leaving them blue because of the default, so I guess you could change them if you want, but it makes it easy to see them, I feel. All right, so in that case, we do need a bathtub. So I think I'll just do that. We got the toilet, bathtub, and a sink, and I think that'll work. I just did like a little kid's room, bed, side table, bluffy, little desk. There's nothing on the walls. I'm kind of like, when I'm doing these builds with the apartments, I'm kind of actually torn if I should be decorating them as much as like a regular house because there's so much going on in one lot and it kind of feels more like I'm furnishing maybe one place that you would live and then the others would be for other Sims. So then I'm like, I don't know if I should put that much into it, but maybe you can let me know in the comments. So I mean, I'm doing a few things here and there, but overall the room is pretty, just the way it is. We'll say it that way. The main bedroom, we go cats and dogs bed. We haven't used that yet. Have that there. Some cats and dogs bedside tables, maybe. I don't know if this really goes with the vibe of the rest of the apartment, though. But, whatever. It's cats and dogs. We got to do what we got to do. Get our sheer curtains. I've got to do some move objects. Get it above the door. Do like these little lights. I think I'll get a couple of these in. I guess the wardrobe situation, we don't actually have that much room here. Whoops. For one, so I guess I'm just gonna do a set of drawers over here. I might do another little pet bed in here. And to be honest, that's actually really all this room needs. Maybe like a little plant on the table, but it doesn't need a whole lot. And I think actually less is kind of more in this room. Maybe, I would do a mirror there. I was about to, but then I think it would just be annoying because it would kind of block the view. We already have a lot of tall stuff going on. like these here. And if I put a mirror there, it's also going to block the view again. So maybe just like a wall decoration would be nice. Yeah, how about this industrial loft kit? No, I don't like that. I immediately regretted that. Maybe just one of those. I don't know. Okay, and then they have their own balcony for the bedroom. So I guess this would just be... I'm not going to do a barbecue on this one because I feel like... Oh, the hot tub up here would be good too. This area is more like a hobby area for, I guess, the adult Sims here. So, I mean, we could do like a little bit of gardening space might be nice. A couple of pots and the vertical planter as well. I don't know, just something simple like that. I mean, I'm pretty happy with this. Little stone coffee table, a few little plants, a little couch, you know, just sit out there. All right, that's pretty good. I like that. I think that does the trick. I guess we don't have, obviously, the new pack, but they have new mailboxes, but I guess for now, I'm just going to give them each one of these. I guess this one probably needs one here somewhere. I guess we would just do another one here. We need a cat one. Yeah, there we go. Mix it up a little bit. All right, so there's a couple here. We'll get this one like that. And then this one could be a different one again. There you go. All right, so we've got 3 mailboxes. We've got our bins around the place. These guys got a little bit of outdoor space there. So we've got the studio apartment. Let's have a look. Let's jump in. I mean, I think this actually turned out really nice. To be honest, the studio apartment might be one of my faves out of the lots that we've done. It's pretty good. That's very nice. And they have their own courtyard space as well. Even undercover, like dining and a barbecue area. And then they also have like a second courtyard space with an outdoor bathtub because we need to wash our pets. So this is actually pretty epic. I like this one. And if we jump around back outside and go through this first door, we come into the 1-bedroom apartment, but you know, slightly bigger than the studio. Nice kitchen area, dining space, nice expansive living, really opens up. They also have a hot tub. That's pretty epic. I do like the little archways through to the hall areas. I think this one also turned out very nicely. Don't worry about that window. Hang on. Let me just, there we go. Problem solved. Yeah, so this is really nice. I think the concrete ceilings actually really work in this build. And then we've got the bedroom just through here, which is actually pretty nice as well. I do like, there is a lot of windows in this one. It is thin and narrow, but I don't feel like it feels that tiny with the big windows, especially if you're like here. Yeah, I like that. And then we do have the bathrooms. The bathrooms aren't super detailed. I mean, you know, it's got everything you need, but I always feel like looking inside the bathroom is kind of not that great. And then the third unit upstairs, just through here. Ooh. You know, I think this turned out well. This is more of a family apartment, or at least a new family. It is quite fancy though, all things considered, for a new family. Like it does look quite luxurious, maybe not as kid-friendly as it could be. But anyway, you know, nice living space there. They do have the big windows looking out over that way to the inner courtyard space. And, you know, I think this whole way worked out well in the end. So we've got the first little bathroom area in here. Not first bathroom, but the first room is the bathroom. Then we've got the kids' room in here, which I think is all right. We've got the yellow theme carried on through there. And then the main bedroom at the end, which is a little bit bigger and also has the nice big windows that way. And their own little courtyard and outdoor space here. Just, I think, very nice. So I think we've turned this weird build here in Brindleton Bay into like semi-nice and actually, well, soon to be functional apartments with The Sims 4 for rent. So I'm pretty excited about this because I've never really used this build. I don't fully remember. I mean, we might have at some point, but we haven't for a long time. And at the moment, I'm actually in my main Let's Play save because that's our vet clinic we had over there back in the Cats and Dogs Let's Play. And this was still the original version of that lot. So I'd never used it in this Let's Play, I don't think. But now I think we can. One thing I did notice, I just got to fix, I think this ceiling. Hang on, let me get it the right way. That little bit of ceiling there. I want all the ceiling sections to be the same. That looks good. And yeah, that's good. So yeah, if we view that from underneath now, it's just got the concrete there instead. Cool. Well, thank you so much to my top level members for supporting the channel, and thank you to all my members who every week get an exclusive extra video. So if you want to become a member, you'll instantly get access to over, I think, 48 videos now. So you can join up, watch all 48, and then get out if you want. But yeah, I really appreciate the extra support. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think this is going to be an actual, probably a useful renovation for me personally anyway. I mean, hopefully all my renovations are useful to you. But to me personally, I think this one's going to be really, really handy. I can't express like how excited I am for Rent and the whole new unit gameplay. We're going to be able to turn so many lots into so much more useful things now. So if you have any suggestions for other ones, let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching and have an awesome day.